it up to 95 over the next 5 minutes. For those of you who are here, we're going to give a little bit more interaction because, again, we always like rewarding people who are here early. All right, everybody type down where you're from. I want to connect some people. Type down where you are from. You guys are already used to putting your energy level, but go ahead and put the city you're in. Be as specific as possible from the exact address. Just kidding. Don't put the address, but put the city. What city are you in? And let's connect some people who are in the same similar cities as you. Buffalo, Louisville. Oh my gosh, so many Louisvillians here. All right, Charlotte, North Carolina. Oh, you got to connect with Glenn and Carey. Minnetonka. Don't know what that is, but sounds cool. Williams come from Minnetonka to Louisville for the Chuka event. So that's gonna be
Heck
good.
yeah. And all of our
All right.
Louisville people can come see us in person on Wednesday at the free meetup.
There you go. There you go. We got someone from Sandusky. Are you guys just putting in some fake names so you make fun of me for not knowing what these are? Laguna. Okay, West. Okay, cool. We got some diversity here from where you guys all are. Really cool. Look in the chat, see if you got any buddies there, and then do the little comment thing on their comments. Say, let's connect. Put your number in and call each other. That's the whole point, is to be social, right? Is to connect with each other and say, wow, you're doing real estate too, and wow, you're trying to get to the same place as me. Let's do it together and let's share ideas and goals. Okay. So we got a lot of stuff to cover today. We're bringing up one of our most amazing friends in just a moment. Andrew's going to be bringing her up. But just for the sake of the beginning of this call, I want to start you guys off with some good energy. All right, so we're going to take a deep breath in. When I do, and you're going to follow here, it's going to be 7-second breathe in, 7-second hold, 7-second breathe out. And we're going to do it 3 times. You guys ready? All right, I'm going to count, you breathe. So you bear with me. Ready? Breathe in for 7 seconds. Ready? Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and breathe it out. Whew. Okay, that's session number one. Session number one allows your thoughts just to simmer. This one, I want you to say some nice things to yourself. Say, I'm beautiful. I'm getting better every single day. I'm getting better on the calls when you're doing the hold. Okay, so breathe in for 7 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold it for 7 seconds, but say something nice to yourself. Say something beautiful and nice to yourself. 5,
You're beautiful and
6.
amazing.
That's right. 7. All right, breathe it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Justin said, I am beautiful. Yes, you are. All right, let's keep it going. This last one we're going to do, you're going to say something nice to yourself again for those 7 seconds. You're going to let it grow across your body. And the 7 seconds that you breathe it out, you're going to breathe out any type of negativity that you're holding throughout the day, or throughout the year, throughout your life, whatever it is. All right, breathe in for 7 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold it. Say something nice to yourself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now breathe out all the negativity that you've been holding. Oof. All right. Sometimes we just gotta do that every single day, and you can start to. Here's what they say: you do that every day, you keep the doctor away for sure. This time, it's just breathing. You just gotta breathe real nice to yourself sometimes. You can let out all the craziness that goes on every single day. So welcome in, guys. We are on day. Paul or Michelle, remind me, what day are we on?
44 today.
Day
Four.
44. Day 44 of 60. It's happening. We're in the haps. That's what they call it. We have some friends from Australia. Apparently, it's the haps. I didn't know what that means, but guys, it is the haps. We're day 44 in. I think we probably have about 56 contracts out there, multiple deals being done. Congratulations to you guys. A lot of income, a lot of money was created through these calls. And me and Andrew, we do this every single day so you guys have the education that you need to go create financial success, so you can go buy real estate, so you can have the tax benefits, so you can have the income for your families. All of these things exist for you so you can go take action. For those of you who are new here, welcome in. You are not too late. Why? Because we have all of these calls on Andrew's YouTube recorded. Andrew Schlag, look that up on YouTube. Give him a couple likes on there. Give him a subscribe, and you can find those. But also, we have another 16 days of absolute madness of going into how you can crush this business with the mindset that sets you apart from all the other real estate investors who don't really understand the business, who don't see the business as an absolute opportunity, an absolute economic beauty for everyone surrounding you. Because, hey, when you come into town, When you come into your market, everyone knows you are bringing prosperity to the market because title companies get paid because of you, attorneys get paid because of you, agents sometimes get paid because of you. The homeowner gets to sell their house, right? You get to buy the house and get a renter in that house. All of the people around you get economic prosperity because of you. Real estate is one of the greatest industries and one of the greatest places that you can achieve that new American dream. Why is it the new American dream? Because the world has gone through a couple things, America's gone through a couple things, but now we're in a great place where we're able to learn these things, have the education, take action on it, and have a community of people who are going towards the same place as us. And all across the world, all across the nation, you guys all put it out there in the chat where you all are from. Now you guys are able to connect with each other. Now you're able to connect with us. For our students, hello, we love you. Our coaching students that we're guiding one-on-one, guiding with our group to take them to that next level, hello, we see you. We're excited for you. And the rest of you, hello, this is going to be a great session. So Andrew, let's kick it off with what we got going on today. What is the excitement that we have?
Absolutely. And we have a jam-packed 16 days left. And right after that, we have a jam-packed 3 days live in person hanging out with you guys. So we're just barely getting started. So today we are going to hear from the amazing Judy Sweeney, one of our founding members, we call one of our first kids. She's a few years our senior, couple years, right? But one of our first kids, one of the very early comers in the Freedom Life family. So we're excited for you to hear from her. She's done over 100 deals. And before we hear from her, though, I want to remind all of you that if you are new here, you're at the right place. We have a lot of exciting things for you. And not only the replays, of course, that are available to you, we are taking several of you. We've ended up working with 12 of you on our new Boss Flow Accelerator. So we're so excited as you guys are getting launched with us. So welcome to the family, welcome to the community. And we have some additional very special things we're going to give to you. But over these next 16 days, you're going to hear kind of as we roll back the curtain, right? You've heard from Leo and I, you've heard a lot of incredible mindset from Leo and his years and years of personal growth and training and communication and a lot of real estate stuff, right? Which you're going to hear a lot more from. We want to roll back the curtain. We want you to hear from some of our mastermind members. We want you to hear from some of our team members, from Ahmed and from Derek. We want you to hear from different ones of the community, from some of our friends, from one of our title attorneys. You're going to hear from him on Wednesday, and so on and so forth. We have so many jam-packed, lined up, incredible guests that you do not want to miss. So every day from here forward is just going to be jam-packed with additional information that you can plug in and use. And that's one of the things that sets us apart. We want to give you the information where you can take notes. And yes, many of you choose to apply to work with us directly because you know that shortcutting the path from where you are to where you want to go is smart. You can just take notes and go implement this. You can take notes and put this to use. We want you taking action now. All right. So a whole lot of more fun things coming up, but I want to go ahead and bring up Mrs. Judy Sweeney. Judy, are you there?
I am.
Welcome. It's nice to see your smiling face. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great. It's a great day.
Yes, it is. So you started in Freedom Life, one of the very, very earliest members, a couple of years ago now. We've been in each other's world for years beyond that. So share with us, what is the first thing I know this is usually a question we would ask at the last. Anybody on here who is working currently to get their first deal, and then we'll get to the more experienced folks. What's the first thing you would tell somebody who's working to get their first deal right now?
You know, we've all been telling them, do this, do this. You all have given us so much information, and it's all absolutely amazing. But I think I'm going to go back to kind of the logistics of what to do. Okay, so you know you need to make calls. You have to decide if you're going to do something. But when you get ready to make calls and you're sitting down to do them, Find a place that you can sit down and that you can sit down straight and be not interrupted. Have a notepad. Hopefully have your computer open or iPad or something else that you can pull the property up. But give that phone call your full attention. How many times do we start to get on and we're already as the phones, and we're over here scrambling for a notepad, or we're looking down in our desk, or we're leaned over like, oh, well, I wonder if this one's going to answer me today. It's another call. I'll get my 20 marked off. I haven't gotten any yet. And when they answer, they hear that because they hear if you're smiling. They hear if you've got a good attitude. They hear if you're coming across that you're genuinely interested. And that's the first thing. When you're making the calls, get excited about the call. Even though you may be scared to death, go to the bathroom first and then sit down and make the call. Because that's the first step to getting a deal, is make the call to somebody. And when they answer, just ask them, well, tell me a little bit about your house. That's non-intrusive. That's a nice way to start. I don't start out with the ones I'm calling like off Zillow. The free leads is a whole lot about what I know already. I might say, I saw your ad for sale on Zillow or Craigslist. Can you tell me a little bit more about it? Or why are you selling your house? And let them talk. Because they will tell you so much information where you will start to make assumptions. And because you make assumptions, you lose the deal right off up front, because you try to fit everybody into the same mold. They don't all need the same thing. Some are needing quick cash, which you've told them. Some are needing just debt relief. Others are just wanting to be rid of a property. I was just looking back over the ones that I have that we've closed out, and I had told you I would look through for this month. And there's one that I actually got a check on the 28th of June. So I did include that one, and I got a good check on it. But that one, when we bought it back at the end of last year, and I put a tenant buyer in, but they just didn't stay long until they got approved. The seller had been transferred and they needed to sell their house. So they sold it at a good price. What equity they had, I paid a little bit so they could buy a food truck. That's what they needed. They had 30K or 25K in equity. They needed 25, or they needed 15 of the 25 up front to buy a food truck. And then the rest they were okay to pay out later. So don't automatically say, well, we always buy with nothing down, and you're ready to just shut them down. Listen, they will tell you what they need, and they'll tell you why they need it. Some of them will say,
powerful.
I just...
I want to jump in and point out something. Two things that you have given us there. If you guys are taking notes, write them down. Number one, Judy does this so well. Become fun to say yes to. Just listen to Judy's voice. Like, it's hard to say no to Judy. So become fun to say yes to. Number two, write this down. Listen intently for their problem. Judy had no way of knowing that these people needed a food truck except by asking questions and paying close attention to what they told her. I wanted to point those two writer downers down because those are big takeaways. For those of you looking to get your first or next deal or looking to improve on the phone, those are two hidden nuggets in what Judy's just shared with you. But keep going, Judy. I just wanted to insert that.
No problem. I'll flip right on down through. I have one. This one, and people are, I keep seeing them ask on here, and I get private messages. Where do you find leads? Where do you get leads? You get them everywhere. They kind of come out of the woodwork sometimes. The very first terms deal I did, and if you leave happy customers or happy clients, they come back to you. This one called me the other day and she said, I was driving by and I saw this house. Are you interested? And I'm like, sure, send me a picture of the sign. She sent me the picture of the sign. I called the lady. We've worked it out. What the lady needed was, it was her mother's house and she didn't want to live back in that town. She wanted it gone. So I looked at it. It needs a little work. I said, what do you want for it? Or what are you thinking you would like, you need out of it? She said, well, I owe 138,000 on my condo, and I was hoping this house would pay it off. I said, so if I paid your 138,000 and it's got an ARV of about 248, I said, you'd sell it for that? She said, yeah, I would, because it needs a little work. I'm like, I could probably do that. And we wrote it up. Now, one thing on that one is she needs 60 days now to get her stuff, her mother's stuff, all out of it. So I'm like, okay, we will close. And we set a closing date because I like to get possession when I close. And we're going to pick up that one. It's a nice little 3-bedroom brick. And it's not even 4 miles from a house, which is unusual for me. But that one was brought to me by the lady that I bought her first condo. Now, I'll send her a little something, and she sends me leads every time she passes a for sale by owner. It's amazing what $500 or a Longhorns gift card will do.
That's a writer down right there. You are creating, write this down, creating boots on the ground. That's in 2015 what I did with the gentleman who was a meter reader. So looking for those opportunities, that is a make or break, whether you are constantly marketing only for paid leads or whether or not you're like Judy and deals are just flowing to you nonstop, right? So you want to be that central point that deals are constantly flowing to. What would you say to someone on here, Judy, who is maybe struggling to get enough leads? What is that secret shift, or what's that minor shift? Because, you know, easy for you to say, you've done over 100 deals. You've got deals flowing to you all the time now. What would you say backing up for anybody who's thinking that, going, all right, I'm starting this out, I'm newer. How do I start to get leads to flow to me like this?
My first deals, and a lot of them came off the free leads. I didn't start buying leads till maybe a year ago. When I started coaching, then I figured I should have experience of buying leads because I could find enough leads to close what I wanted to close. And like you say, people brought stuff to you. Keep your eyes open. Like I tell other people, hey, if you see a for sale by owner and I buy it, I'll give you a Longhorns gift card or a movie ticket or $50, whatever it is. And just do that, which is not going to break you. You don't give it to them every lead, or I don't. It's if I buy it. And they will bring you things because that's where I start. Start where you are. Start with what you have. And so what do you have? You have free leads. And then you can go for inexpensive leads. But I'd go for free leads until you get 1 or 2 under your belt, at least.
So something else, Judy, you've done all these deals. You're now a coach in the community too. I know several of our community on here are working directly with you. As you have raised up doing this, what would you say is the secret? So somebody on here has done some deals and they're looking to get from that place where you do some deals, maybe you get a couple checks or you get your first few contracts to going, all right, turning this to where I'm getting 2, 3, 4, 5 deals a month as you are consistently just doing deal after deal after deal now. What's that transition been like for you?
You just had the key in that phrase, consistency. It doesn't have to be all day, 40 hours a week, but it needs to be consistent. If you set aside that you're going to work on it an hour a day or an hour every other day, but set aside a time that's specifically for this, and that's what you do. And it's not compromisable.
So let me ask you this. You're a mom, a grandmom. I know you don't look old enough to be a grandmom, but you are. And you've got the kids, you've got the grandkids, go fishing with your husband. You've got all these moving parts in your life. How many hours a week now do you dedicate to doing this business?
between all the coaching and everything, I'm probably in at 25 plus,
Okay.
but it's because I enjoy it. A
Ab-
lot of it I spend just looking up properties and doing things that doesn't necessarily have to have been me. I have some of it I could delegate, but some of it I enjoy. So I've started delegating other things, just like tonight, for example. I sent a text to my daughter-in-law. She makes an awesome salmon, baked salmon. I said, "Hey, I've got the food. Would you want to come down and prep it? I get off of this at 3:30." She's like, "Sure." So I just am bringing in a chef for the evening.
I love that. What's the funnest part of this business to you? Because I know you're in a position now where you probably don't have to do this. You just it's fun for you and it's living your purpose more fully. So what's your favorite part of this business?
Seeing the light bulb come on for others is ranks up there right at the top.
Mm,
When a student is successful, helping somebody meet their need. You know, when you solve a problem that they didn't have any idea how they were going to solve it, and you bring that to them, um, those are some of the biggest. And then also, you know, the monetary parts are always good too.
of course. That's
I
fun.
mean,
How many
yes.
deals did you do in the last month?
Well, if we look at what I've caught right now, I've got 9 contracted and 2 more pending since this month.
Okay. July.
And then, so what happens is because it's me, I tend to get in the phase of I'm acquiring or I'm dispoing, but I usually will it cycles a little bit. So I had been in a dispo, I'd had several, and then they were like pretty much all gone, and it's time to acquire. So now I'm picking up more. Uh, and so I'm picking up some that'll be lease options, some I think I'm going to wholesale, some I will sell outright. So it just, but like I say, I'm on number 9 that's contracted and 2 more pending so far. And this is what, the 22nd of the month?
How would you say, or how much profit do you anticipate off of all those upfront profit? I'm not talking about back end lease option, cash out later paydays, because I'm sure that's probably in the 6 figures. What's the upfront profit you're expecting on these wholesales or non-refundable option deposits?
You know what? I haven't really calculated that, but it'll be well over average Kentucky salary,
Good.
which is 50K.
Yep.
Every
Good.
time I look at one and I get in a check that's over 50K, I'm like, I just made more on that deal than the average Kentuckian makes in a year.
And that's a powerful point because I think, for everyone on here listening, you're in Frankfort, Kentucky, right? Judy? In Frankfort,
Yes.
Kentucky, so little town in Kentucky. And we look at this. Now, will all of you go make a consistent 50K a month? Unfortunately, the law of averages say probably not. A large portion of you actually won't do that. Why? Because it takes tenacity, it takes consistency. And unfortunately, there is some who started with us 44 days ago who are not on here right now. And congratulations to you for being on here on day 44. And I mention this because just the law of averages says it's not going to happen for everybody, except you get to choose whether it happens for you or not. That's what's powerful. So what is you mentioned having, of course, you have a servant's heart. You mentioned seeing the light bulbs coming on for others, Judy. Such a powerful thing. Of course, the checks are fun. But what's the difference that you see in people who come in and who go get checks and get deals versus those who have not come into our world and just kind of sat there on go, intending to one day start this business? What's the difference in personality or actions or what's happening there?
Their attitude is very different. I
Hmm.
had a student that I got on the phone with them and helped them make calls over the weekend. And they kept thanking me, and they said, "I've never had anybody make calls like this with me. I've been part of a lot of mentoring programs, and we would go through stuff, but then they would say, well, go make calls. But nobody ever sat down with me, made a call, and then it's talked about why we did what and why we put it together the way we did. So that's part of your system is people coming into this, they not only learn the logistics of it, but they actually get down to we get our hands dirty in it and go into it step by step. And I think that's a lot of the difference in why they're successful and why we see the light bulbs coming on.
Absolutely. That's powerful. And something all of you will notice here, and write this down if you're taking notes. Culture is key. I want you guys to take note of our culture. Another reason that you're seeing Judy, another reason you're seeing her servant's heart being showcased, as many of you will work with her as you come into our communities, because a couple of days you'll be seeing and hearing from Glenn as you begin to meet, and then Ahmed, and then Derek. You see our team, you see our community, you see others on here. You've heard from David, you've heard from Craig, you've heard from who else? Carmen, you've heard from a whole bunch of others, because it is about culture. And as you guys are building your teams, and I didn't say building payroll, because I'm not interested in that. Been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. Those days are over, right? We don't want big fat payroll, but we do want a great team. And the culture you build will be the determining factor in how successful your business is. Now, success, I'm not just talking about how much money you make, because I've seen cultures that suck that get 6 figures a month, right? But they're miserable. We have fun in this business, and we love what we get to do. And that's what you're seeing showcased here. That's why we keep showing up with you guys. That's why we begin to bring in more and more of our community, because this is not just a place where we come together and we get a check or don't get a check, either way, and it's done. But this is a place where we come together and we create a culture of winning. It's a opportunity. It's an extended family. It's a place where we come together and hang out and grow. We just finished our leadership meeting right before this, and we had lots of fun on that team meeting, right? So for all of you seeing this, culture is going to be key as you're building your company. I didn't realize that 2015, 2016, and I made a lot of failures, a lot of screw ups, and costed me a lot of money in my business because I didn't understand the culture. I thought it was talent and action equals checks. And it did, except the culture didn't work. And so the longevity wasn't there. So culture is going to be key. All right. Before we get to questions and answers, Judy, what's one more thing that's on your mind that you would want to inspire everyone today?
You just have to go do it. You have to make the decision in your brain, in your mind, in your heart that, yes, I want to do this. I can do it. If other people can do it, I can do it. There shouldn't be anything holding you back, except no excuses.
I love that.
In other words, burn the bridge or burn the boat.
You know, that's so powerful. And that's a writer downer. I always say you can make excuses and you can make money, but you can't make both. Mm-hmm. And we get out and make it happen. That's a huge difference maker. Awesome. Well, if you don't mind, keep hanging around with me and we'll answer questions together. Some of them I'm certain will be for you. So go ahead, Paul, and let's fire away.
All right. First question today comes from Sharon. She says, I would love to know how to ask someone for a testimonial to put on my website. And for that, Sharon, we do recommend So Tell Us. I'm going to go ahead and share the affiliate in the chat for you for that. So stand by for that. So
and let me give you that script. Thank you, Paul, for putting it in there. And Sharon, when you're at the closing table, if you're live and in person, I just simply go, of course, starting out, I didn't have So Tell Us or all that fancy stuff in 2014. Shoot, we barely had Facebook back then. I would slide a sheet across the table and say, my partner asked me to get this, that you say something nice about me to put on my website. I would say that. I got so many dozens, if not hundreds of testimonials by sliding that blank sheet of paper, and they'd write something nice out for me. Now, in this modern era, we send them a text, So Tell Us text. And I say, oh, one more thing, Sharon, would you mind going ahead and shooting me either a quick video or giving me a quick written note of how much you loved working with us. And if they say yes, great. If they say, well, what should I say? You can, give them an idea. Be like, just say how much you like working with me, or what was your favorite part, or, was it fast? Like what was your, or take something they told you. This is the fastest transaction I've ever done. And said, just say, oh, you told me already. So just ask them the question, will you give me a quick testimonial? Almost always they're going to say yes. And then they either write it and confirm it on Sotellus, or they do a quick video and they post it and it's on your website. Sotellus will sync it up with your website for you, which is why I love Sotellus. What's our next question?
All right. Next question is for Judy from Veronica. And she asked, did you take over payment on the condo or did you pay cash?
I took over payment.
All right. We got a question here from Jerry. He says, where are Judy's deals at? Which state?
Well, let's see. Kentucky, Tennessee, Indiana, and I've got 2 right now brewing in Louisiana.
Right,
This
awesome.
does not work in Kentucky. Joking.
Doesn't work in Indiana either.
Or Louisiana. All right, we got another one here for Judy, and I'd love to get your thoughts as well on this one. Andrew, Veronica asks, how do you keep them all straight?
Great team for me. It's a great team. It could be a partner team. It could be whatever, finding your superpower, leaning into that and finding someone else who can assist you, whether that be a virtual assistant, whether that be a in-person team member, or whether that be a joint venture partner, which Veronica may be a perfect fit for you. But we can definitely, I know you're in our community. We can have a chat more in depth on that. But what addition would you have to that, Judy?
That's good. And I mean, I start out with each one in their own folder. And when I'm writing about a particular property, every property goes on its own sheet. You don't come down a sheet of paper that's got 10 different properties in 10 different locations on it, because then you don't know what you're talking about.
Absolutely.
And they have their own either electronic folder or they have their own paper folder. Electronically, I put them in folders that have the state first, the city or county next, and then the year as the title of the folder. That way I know where I can go back and I can search for Indiana. Then I can search for the area, and then I can look at the year. And then I open it to see what's in it.
Good advice. Thank you for that.
All right. Our next question comes from Andrew. He says, what are the parameters for neighborhoods you buy in?
Andrew, great question. So neighborhoods I buy in, it's a very it depends question. Here's what I mean by that. A neighborhood I buy in generally is going to be a little bit below median price range for that area. At the same time, while I don't recommend, I don't do fix and flips at all anymore. I don't like to buy in high crime areas or in areas like that. At the same time, if I'm in a borderline area, I do pick up houses sometimes for 10 to 20 cents on the dollar and then sell them on refinancing. So it's all going to depend on your exit strategy. But again, without giving a 3-day seminar on picking areas, I will say a little bit low medium price range, terms matters above all, and not a super high crime area. In other words, an area that is more starter homes. So kind of that mid-range, a little below medium price. They're the easiest to get into. And of course, the higher dollar properties can give bigger paydays, but it may take a lot longer to get to them.
All right. Our next question comes from Steph. I'm excited to get your thoughts on this, Andrew, because I know it's a challenge you've encountered in the past. He says, I started paying for leads and I have my first yes to 0 down and owner financing coming in, I believe.
Congratulations.
Absolutely. He said, I believe 1 yes, 1 follow-up, and 1 I need to call. How do you suggest I pay for 1, 2, 3 plus new mortgages I'm potentially accumulating when I'm having a challenge paying for the house that I currently have?
That's an awesome question. So I'm going to give you a 30-second answer. I'm going to elaborate on that answer tomorrow, as long, Paul, as you will note down to remind me, please. So number 1 answer is line up the buyer immediately. I don't want you making mortgage payments on vacant houses. And number two is always get your payment after you close delayed. I'll tell you how tomorrow and why tomorrow.
All right. Fearless Eddie asks, Judy, what's your lead gen and I think he meant it means conversion rate. So what's your lead gen and conversion rate?
My lead gen sources, my sources, is that what he's asking for?
Yep.
Yeah, where do they come from and how many sellers do you talk to buy a house?
A lot of them come from need to sell my house fast. And I may talk to 15 or so before I get a house, because I will take leads that are from outside the major cities, which that's probably a writer downer if you're starting, just because you can get cheaper leads and there's not the competition on those. But some of them are not the greatest leads. But need to sell my house fast is where I get a lot of them. A lot of them I follow back up on. So I haven't really looked at my total conversion. First time calling through, it's probably more like 15. But then if you look back at after the follow-ups, it's probably more like 6 to 8. And then, like I say, I get a lot of free leads. I've gotten some from property sales. Some that are from referrals. Wholesalers, I've got a couple of wholesalers that call me with stuff all time. So
That's awesome.
All right. Another question for Judy. They're coming fast today for you. How do you get boots on the ground in Indiana?
you make connections.
That's a good
Come
answer.
to the Truca event.
Absolutely. I got some
That's a good answer too.
I got some exciting wins here. Timothy said, Judy and I purchased a home out of foreclosure just minutes before the auction. Seller just sent me a lead for a potential lease optionee to reinforce what Judy just said. Leads are everywhere. So congratulations, Timothy. That's awesome. And Sharon says, happy dance. I did a sub 2 on a pretty house yesterday. Thanks to the instructions to simplify, go to Facebook Marketplace and text the seller asking for their phone number. So
Wait,
awesome job, guys.
wait. Sharon, I know we have like 2 minutes and we got to get, because we got another meeting coming up, but you just went on Facebook Marketplace, messaged people and closed a sub 2 deal. What's your projected profit on that sub 2 deal?
Well, it's going to be long-term profit. It's only going to be about $250 cash flow per month.
Okay.
And it's nothing down. And they are in chapter 13 and they're behind some payments, but we explained that we will catch them up as we go along. It won't be all at once. So it will ARV at, they bought it for $225,000 3 years ago, and the ARV is $270. So we'll probably sell it for $280.
Sweet.
And we will get some kind of, a deposit that will catch those payments up as soon as we
Of course
can.
it will. And how
And
much
they're
is
good.
that, did you say?
How much is the what?
Debt?
They paid $225 3 years ago. They paid something like 13,000 down, but because they're behind on their payments, I think it's kind of washed out. But we're going to try to get that debt really, that they owe some back payments and most of it's fees. So we're going to try to get them to accept what's owed and wipe the fees out. I don't know if we will or not, but we're going to give it a shot.
I get it. You may only make 50 grand. I'm sorry about your luck.
Maybe.
All right, cool. Way
Thanks.
to go, Sharon. Way to go. Awesome. All right, let's take one more question and call it a day, because I know we are out of time.
All right. Next question. And for anyone we didn't get to, we will definitely ask these tomorrow, because I appreciate you guys sending in lots of questions. Michael Fernandez says, when buying leads, how many should you expect to purchase to get a contract, and using what lead source? We kind of touched on that already, but any quick comments on that?
Yes, I would add to that. It depends on your ability to close deals on the phone and how many tools you have in your tool belt, right? Meaning over half of our deals are terms, less than half are wholesale. We have multiple tools and we're good on the phones. So that's why on every 6 or 7 phone calls, we get a deal when we're talking about high quality lead source. As long as you have that quality on the phone calls, then it just depends on quality of lead source, which if you're talking REI Vault mailings, you're talking a few dozen calls more than likely. Whereas if you're talking PPL, need to sell a house fast, etc., you're probably talking more like 7 to 12. So depends on the lead source, depends on the quality of the phone call. But awesome question. We will get to all the rest of the questions tomorrow. Guys, we have a jam-packed day tomorrow. I'm going to tell you how to get the first 3 months payments free on your house. And you're going to thank me for it, and a whole bunch of other cool stuff. Give Judy, Leo, Michelle, Paul, the whole team a virtual hand clap. And we'll see you tomorrow at the same place at the same time. Bye for now, guys.